Have you ever wondered how a coffee shop can become a business model? But it did happen. Yes, many of you might have guessed right. We're talking about Starbucks, which began just as a coffee shop and now has made a monopoly in it. But how did it gain this monopoly? And how did it become so successful and continue to grow today? Well, it has an amazing story behind it. Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel, Success Stories. Today, we have brought the amazing success story of Starbucks. So watch the video till the end because it is going to take your heart. First, let's go back to the beginning. Starbucks was established in 1971 by Jerry Baldwin, Bowker, and Zev Siegl, and their first location was located in Seattle's Pike Place Market. All three founders of Starbucks came from the academic world and had a passion for coffee and tea. Starbucks was named after Herman Melville's Moby Dick's first companion, Starbucks, with whom they had invested and borrowed money to build the first shop in Seattle. The successful coffee roasting businessman Alfred Peet had a big influence on the founders of Starbucks. In the 1950s, Peet, a Dutch immigrant, began bringing high-quality Arabica coffees into the United States. In 1966, he started a tiny shop in Berkeley, California called Peet's Coffee and Tea, which specialized in selling high-quality coffees and teas from across the world. As a result of Peet's success, Starbucks decided to focus on the sale of premium coffee beans and related equipment, and Peet's Coffee and Tea was the company's first green coffee bean supplier. Next, Baldwin and Bowker bought a second-handed roaster from Holland and began experimenting with Alfred Peet's roasting methods to develop their own mixes and flavors. In the early 1980s, 4 Starbucks locations in Seattle were already setting themselves apart from the competition with their fresh roasted coffee of superior quality. When Siegl departed the business in 1980 to explore other opportunities, Baldwin was promoted to president. Then began the age of Howard Schultz. It was in 1981 when Howard Schultz, then a sales representative for Hammerplast, a Swedish manufacturer of kitchen equipment and housewares, from whom Starbucks purchased drip coffee machines, decided to give the firm a visit after seeing that the company was receiving orders in the thousands. After being so pleased, Schultz decided to apply for a job at Starbucks and was eventually employed in 1982 as the company's director of marketing. After realizing that first-time customers were sometimes put off by the stores due to their lack of knowledge about fine coffees, Schultz worked with store employees to develop more customer-friendly sales techniques and produced brochures that made it simple for customers to learn about the company's products. In the spring of 1983, Starbucks dispatched Schultz for Milan for an international housewares exhibition when he had his most fruitful notion for the company's future. He was blown away by the number of cafes in Italy, especially by the 1,500 that can be found in the city of Milan. He was so moved by this that he began planning how he might quickly expand Starbucks from a small regional business into a nationwide network of coffee houses. In contrast to Schultz, Baldwin and Bowker were not keen on the notion, preferring that Starbucks stick closer to its tried-and-true formula for success. They didn't want Starbucks to expand into food and beverage services, such as espresso and cappuccino, but rather to stick to its roots as a coffee and equipment retailer. Not realizing that Baldwin and Bowker would be interested in the cafe concept, Schultz left Starbucks in 1985 to launch his own coffee chain, Il Giornale, which became an instant hit and soon expanded to other cities. Baldwin and Bowker agreed to sell Starbucks in March 1987, and Schultz used Il Giornale to quickly raise money and buy the firm. He consolidated everything under the Starbucks name and dedicated the company to the cafe model, with in-store sales of coffee, utensils, and other merchandise supplementing the mainstay. The coffee shop network expanded from less than 20 locations to more than 100 under Schultz's leadership in only 4 years. After going public in 1992, Starbucks had a period of rapid growth. Beginning in 1996, when it first opened outlets outside North America, Starbucks rapidly expanded until it was the biggest coffee house business in the world. Starbucks has about 2,500 stores in around 12 countries by the end of the decade. In 2000, Schultz declared that he would no longer serve as CEO, but would continue to serve as the chairman. In 2007, the chain had more than 15,000 outlets throughout the globe, but was struggling. This led to Schultz's return to the company's top position in January 2008. His ambitious plan to ensure new channels of expansion included the purchase of a bakery chain, the producers of a coffee brewing system, and the launch of an instant coffee brand, all of which he managed. Furthermore, he coordinated the introduction of new food items to the Starbucks menu since the coffee shop first started serving food in its cafes in 2003. By 2012, Starbucks' financial situation had improved because of these measures. In 2017, Schultz resigned as CEO and was succeeded by Kevin Johnson. Until 2018, when he was succeeded as executive chairman by Myron Ullman, Schultz remained actively involved with the firm. In 2019, Chicago was home to the opening of the biggest Starbucks ever, a Starbucks Reserve Roastery. Over 32,000 Starbucks locations were open in dozens of countries by the year 2021. However, Starbucks had its own set of problems at the time. In particular, despite the company's efforts to prevent it, employees at a number of its locations organized unions. Furthermore, sales were negatively impacted, particularly in China, one of the company's core markets, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and associated supply chain concerns. Johnson left the company suddenly in 2022, and Schultz was brought back as temporary CEO. Starbucks revealed later that year that Laxman Narasimhan had been recruited to succeed Schultz in 2023. In August of 2021, an effort was made at 3 of the company's outlets in the city of Buffalo, New York, to form a union. The employees of Starbucks made the announcement through Twitter that they had established an organizing committee under the name Starbucks Workers United in order to establish a union that would be associated with Workers United. In September, 2 additional shops joined the campaign. However, the petitions submitted by these stores were eventually withdrawn so that the process could go more quickly for the first 3 sites. On November 9th, Workers United submitted 3 new petitions for elections to represent employees at other shops located in the Buffalo region. On November 10th, ballots for the elections that will take place at the first 3 sites were shipped out by the National Labor Relations Board. On December 9th, votes were tallied for the first 3 establishments to be considered. The National Labor Relations Board dismissed arguments presented by Starbucks to suspend the election only days before the votes were counted. Workers at a Starbucks location in Mesa, Arizona, submitted a petition to the National Labor Relations Board, or NLRB, requesting a union election on November 18, 2021, to be represented by Workers United. This petition was motivated by the actions of their colleagues in Buffalo. Organizing took place at the Mesa branch in part because a well-liked manager at the site was sacked after blowing the whistle on Starbucks' anti-union strategy. In October, in order to complete renovations on 2 of the locations that were taking part in the union campaign, Starbucks temporarily shuttered those stores. The corporation maintained that these layoffs had nothing to do with the ongoing unionization activities. In October, Starbucks started collaborating with Littler Mendelson, a law company that describes itself as a union-busting business. Finally, on December 9, 2021, a vote of 19-8 gave the employees at the Elmwood Avenue shop the distinction of becoming the first Starbucks employees at a Starbucks-owned location in the United States to join a union. The vote to withdraw from the union at the Camp Road site was 12-8. There are stores operated by Starbucks that are unionized in other countries. So, we're done with today's video. Please let us know in the comment box what you all thought about it. And please like and share with all your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content. Thanks for watching.